So welcome everybody to the what's the name of the podcast?
Why don't you just start?
Okay.
Why don't you just start?
What the f is that noise?
You hear a noise?
I think.
Oh, is it me banging?
Blanking.
Oh, it's me banging.
That's coming up.
Yeah, sorry, that's
That
me.
one.
That's me.
Knock it off, dude.
I don't want to, bruh. No, it's my little microphone.
That looks
It's the
kinda
bolt.
crazy,
It's the
even though
bolt.
I'm just doing
It's the
this.
bolt in my microphone, but it's like it's not in it because it's broken. My microphone's actually broken, so I'm just banging on it. Okay, Vince. Patriots were the first team out of our 4 teams to draft. We actually all drafted in the 20s plus. So what do you think of your draft?
Originally I wasn't sure what to make of it. But yeah, I did some research and I'm much better with it now. Like I'm much more comfortable with it. It was a very offensive heavy draft, I believe, out of
That was
their.
just the normal draft, I think.
I mean, like I think they drafted literally one defender whole draft.
Well, that's what you guys
Yeah.
needed help with was offense.
So obviously, I'll start with the most important one was the third overall pick, Drake May. That's who I thought. Like I said in the TikTok video, that's kind of who I thought they'd take going in, and I was completely fine with that pick. I know some weaknesses is looking at film, he seems to leave the pocket way too early.
I know damn well
but
you weren't watching no film, but go ahead.
I was, but okay. Yeah, he seems to leave the pocket way too early. A lot of that seemed to be just his offensive line was a lot worse than it was the year before. Same with the receivers.
But
Yeah,
like,
weaknesses
what
are a lot.
schools are he going up? He's not going up against elite edge rushers in college either. He's not going up against a Bama, a Penn State. He's not going up against those type of things. So like, yeah, his O-line might not be great, but is he also facing the competition?
I mean, bad schools can have great players. He's a third overall pick with
But in the
pretty bad school.
NFL, he's going to be going up against what?
Elite talent, obviously, but
He should be-
anyway, I
he
was
should be
just
used to
gonna say his
pressure.
weakness. Okay, yeah, weaknesses is like I said, leaves pocket. Was it that I think Colt Warner said like he's seen him miss like throws that like every quarterback in mankind should be able to hit.
It's footwork.
On the other hand,
It's footwork.
makes outstanding throws while being tackled that are just flat out dots. Like, yeah, it's very off and on. So he can make big plays when it matters. He just needs to stay in the pocket and get more technically sound. Strengths, big arm.
And that
plays
comes
like
with
I said.
comes with time though. Footwork is definitely something you can teach. It's not something that obviously you would like him to come out of college with the good technique and good footwork, but it's something that you can learn. It's not something that's impossible to learn. It's there.
Yeah, good. Throws well on the run, which is what weakness I skipped over. According to Bill Belichick, he had the worst pocket rating of the 6 quarterbacks. He's just said all the quarterbacks. I assume it's all the first round. Yeah, according to Bill Belichick. I found that odd, but anyway, has a good football IQ. His comparisons right now, I did like this. He's being
You compared
compared to Josh Allen. His comparisons, based on other people's comparisons. He's being compared to Josh Allen and Justin Herbert.
Hear about this? What is your comparison for him? Just what you know, and then what do you hope he turns into?
What do I hope he turns into? Josh Allen.
Brady.
What?
I mean, that's
He's
what I think.
more
Anybody that does a
athletic than Tom
quarterback,
Brady
I
will
think.
ever be, but
But you hope he wins you 7
What?
Super Bowls. You hope he has the career of
in
Tom
that
Brady.
mindset, yeah. I think I went over everything on that, but to answer your question, turn into Josh Allen. I think that would be about his ceiling. I have no idea what to say what he's going to start because, like you said,
But what do you think?
He
You said you watched film. What do you think? What do you think he is currently?
I'm saying I don't know how he's going to start because he played in
Coming out of college, what do you think he's gonna be?
Well, that's what I'm trying to go at because he can be a good player, yet he struggled because he had a bad line. His last year he didn't do as well because he had a bad line His receivers are not that great, which
Okay.
concerns me because the Patriots, not a great line, and their receivers aren't terrific.
It's a
They're
young
better
line.
than what
We talked about this. Is a young line.
Mm.
But like,
Anyway,
what do you
the
think?
second round-
Knowing everything you know, but what is your comparison though? Regardless.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to compare him to right off the bat. I know what I like.
You're
I
saying
think
you're
his
saying
ceiling-
he's 1 of 1. He's Drake May, 1 of 1.
Okay. I just know what I think his ceiling can be, but I don't know what to expect from him. Especially in that situation where you have a first-time coach, defensive coach. So obviously, yes, he's not going to be the offensive coordinator. But yeah, it's just a situation that's unique. But anyway, I'd like to get through all the 7, so I will continue second round. But second rounder is a guy that I knew absolutely nothing about. I didn't even know who he was, and when I first looked at him, I was kind of disappointed. Like, how this guy go this high? But as I looked into him, I'm much more comfortable with the pick. His name is Jalen Polk. Sorry.
You think he starts? You think he starts?
Right now, I think they have him at 5th on depth chart.
But
he can
no, I
probably-
was talking about you. Where do you think do you think he starts?
I think he'll start by the midway through the season, halfway point of the season.
I don't know. I feel like if you take a receiver in the second round, first of course, but second, I feel like in the second round you're probably drafting a starter in the second round.
Well, the bad things about him is kind of what I saw when I first looked at him, and then as I got deeper into it, it looked like I was correct. He's not a great route runner. He gets very little separation, which is a big deal, obviously, especially in the NFL.
What school did he go to?
I did not write that down.
I'm only bringing it up because if he wasn't getting separation, and again I'm gonna bring this up, if he
Hold on,
wasn't facing the greatest talent and he wasn't getting separation against those guys, when he goes to the NFL,
Sorry, I
will
wrote
it get
it down
even
on the
worse?
side, Nate. He was Roma Dunze's teammate.
So he didn't go to
Yeah.
Washington, did he? When he went to Washington?
I haven't wrote down that he played with Roma Dunze.
That would mean Washington.
Yeah.
I don't know what school he went to.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
like it.
asking.
Look,
His
Roma
weakness
Dunze
is-
transferred.
Yeah, I was
From
gonna
somewhere
say,
else.
that could have happened. I'm pretty. I mean, I know Ruma Dunze played Washington. I don't know if Polk did.
It'll be his high school teammate.
While you're looking
Yeah,
at
Washington.
that,
Yeah, Washington. He went to Washington.
I was gonna say while you're looking at that, I'll continue. Yeah, his weaknesses, like I said, the biggest is route running. Has okay speed, nothing great at 4.52. So okay speed, not great.
So he's not separating and he's not creating. Okay, hold on a second. So you're telling me he was facing the number 2 corner because Roma Dunze was the better receiver on that team. He's not creating
Obviously,
separation and he's not a burner. So what is he good for?
He
tall?
excels. I heard one analyst say he has arguably like top 3 hands in the draft as far as he gets his hands on the ball. He's not dropping that. He won't drop it. He's a great 50-50 jump ball guy. He had a 37.5-inch vertical at the combine, so yeah, you can get up there. Those are his strengths,
Into the body.
basically jump ball.
He's a jump guy.
What?
So
He's a jump ball and short hands.
So like T Higgins, but like how tall is he?
6'1" or 6'2".
So D Hop.
So not super tall, but usable.
D Hop probably then.
Yeah.
Bro,
Like I said,
it's not Madden, bro. I mean, he's tall but not usable. Like,
Yeah, short hands.
He's
and
not
he-
usable,
yeah,
yeah,
so-
right?
He ain't 6'7". He may not be able to jump
6'2"
ball.
is good height. 6'2" is good height.
It is. It's Keenan Allen height. But I'll move on. The next 2 picks I'll make kind of quick. They're both linemen.
Well, hold
one
on,
was
real
a
quick.
tackle.
Before I'll let you continue. I'll ask you after you say
Go
everybody.
ahead.
No, I'll ask you after
Okay.
everything because it kind of goes
Yeah, these
pairs
will
with
be
that.
quick anyway. One was a tackle, position of need. Obviously, he's a very good pass blocker. Is there run block? I'm not sure. It looks like he played a little bit of guard as a like kind of emergency guard, but he didn't play that often. Yeah, that's just random. And the guard's kind of the complete opposite. He's a good run blocker, but I don't know about him in pass blocking. So yeah, I'll make
Do you
those
think
quick. And I'll
do you
be
think
about it.
either of them start or no? They're more like down the line.
Trying to think of the current offensive line other than David Andrews, who apparently
Not
we
starting
talked isn't
technically.
even the starter. Yeah,
It's like
which
what is
is
it?
crazy.
Was it Nick Andrews or
But
something? I forgot who they actually
or
had as the
is yeah
starter.
some other dude with the name Andrews.
Well, I remember
But
looking
yeah,
and
that's crazy.
I remember
that,
one of the guards is like super young. Like one of the guards is like he just got drafted last year. So like one of your guards is probably gonna be one of those guys could probably play. So I would assume maybe you just need a guard and a tackle, and I don't think you guys drafted. You said you drafted a tackle?
Yeah, tackle went fourth pick of the third round.
No, so
and
he might get a
guard
chance to
went
play.
fourth round, third pick.
Might also get a chance to play.
Okay. And then right after the guard, 7 picks later after the guard, they drafted another
My favorite.
receiver.
Loved Baker.
You'll
Loved
probably
Baker.
know more than I will. I don't know a whole bunch other than NFL analyst Matt Miller compares him to Rasheed Rice. He
A rookie from last year?
speed.
Weird comparison.
Yeah, it is, but he says
Like
he
his
has
driving
speed.
skills, or
Jump ball.
Oh no, chill
What?
out. No, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out. Any driving skills?
All right, it says average speed, but can get jump balls. But yeah, I'll actually let you take this one
High work
because
ethic,
you like him.
dude.
So you
Herc, high work ethic, plays like a
more
Raven.
for them.
I really wanted him to be a Raven, bro. He won't give up on a play. He's gonna play the entire play. He's gonna help out in the run game. He might not be the great, he's not a great run blocker by any means, but at least he'll try to touch a corner. He'll try to get his hands on a dude and try to help a little bit.
Okay. I thought it was actually the quarterback that the second quarterback that you liked. I have that written down.
I also
on my
like Bo
notes,
Milton. Yeah, I like Bo Milton a lot as well.
Okay,
Well, I don't say I
right.
like Bo Milton, but that dude can throw a football.
He's impressive physically.
That dude can throw a football.
Yeah.
he can sling the
yeah,
rock.
after, what?
He threw the ball like 85 yards, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Air
written
yards.
Oh, you just spoiled my notes. Thank you. Anyway, yeah.
You're the only person
So
who took
6th round,
notes.
we're getting near the end. It took a corner.
You have
which
notes?
I'm not upset
Yeah,
with.
yeah, he's reading
What?
off notes.
Yeah. I spit like 4
Wow,
hours.
you really prepared for this, dude.
Yes, I did. Anyway, took a corner.
I didn't know about it until about
With it.
when Dwight texted me.
Okay. The corner's fast. He ran a 4.46, so decent speed.
I said Bo Milton. Sorry,
looks like
Joe Milton. Joe Milton. I was saying Bo Milton.
Okay. Looks like he played 29 games, had 31 pass deflections, if you care about that, but
31
that's all
pass
I really
deflections.
had on. Yeah.
Who?
quarterback?
That's all I.
No, who?
What?
Who?
He's a corner. His name is. Sorry, I didn't say his name. Marcellus Dial.
And he played how many games?
29 and had 31, so it's not. Yeah, it's not
About
amazing.
one a
but-
game.
So that's why I kind of said take it as you will. But
He's a late round pick. I mean, late round picks like they got something wrong with them clearly. You don't take a guy 7th round. You don't get a guy 7th round if he doesn't have something wrong with him.
I didn't write down a whole bunch about him. I didn't see anything that great about him. Obviously,
Well, out of all those, so those are all your draft picks.
I have 2 more.
Oh, okay.
Other one is, of course, Joe Milton, the quarterback you said, who threw 80+ yards at the combine.
No,
so
not the.
he
I
has
didn't
a
say. I didn't
cannon.
say combine. Not the combine.
I looked it up. It said nearly 85-yard pass at the combine.
It might have been at the combine, but my personal
You can
thing
look
wasn't
it
saying the
up,
combine.
but anyway, and then he ran 81 yards during the game and had 6 other rushing touchdowns that year.
Yeah.
So he's got a cannon for an arm, though I don't know how accurate he is, and he can run. I'll put it that way. And that's what I've written down. This guy, the last pick, I actually like better than some of the other picks, like the guard and the corner that were taken. What? He's probably talking to Scat or something. I'll continue. I like him better than other picks. His name's Jaheim Bell, and new coach Gerard Mayo said basically at this point we're just taking the best guy left on the board, regardless of need. He started as a fullback. He's been a fullback tight end hybrid. He had 3 rushing touchdowns in 2021 as a fullback. But the interesting part is he's best at short route running, catching the ball, but he is a monster at run after the catch yardage. He is second in FBS among tight ends to, do you know who? Brock Bowers. Second only to Brock Bowers.
What school did he go
Which
to?
was interesting. The schools I did not write down. I should have, but
Because I know Brock Bowers.
other
I know
interesting
Brock Bowers
was-
went to Georgia, so you know he was facing
Yeah.
legit competition.
yeah.
Only
To
if you went to school.
come in playing primary fullback your first year and then be just
FSU.
rack
He
monster.
went to FSU.
Okay, Florida State, yeah. That sounds correct. Last year, this is the weird thing. How do you go from fullback tight end combination though to last year?
He'll probably
40%
he'll probably stay at fullback. I would think. From what I had seen, he'll probably stay at
last year
fullback
though,
with the Pats.
40% of his snaps he played at slot receiver.
Well, Vince,
He's
FSU,
like Kyle
I don't
Juszczyk.
get-
FSU must be down bad,
What?
bro.
So he's the Patriots
What?
new Kyle Juszczyk then. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, they said he's good running up the seam, obviously. And like I said, mainly from what I saw, he was just good catching it short and then rack yards, like I said. Anyway, that's all I have on the Patriots draft. Like,
I do
wrap it up, like I said.
I do want to ask you,
Originally,
who do you see
Go ahead.
Who do you see starting this rookie year?
among quarterbacks or
Yeah, among quarterbacks. Come on, Vince. We know who's starting at quarterback. No, in this rookie class, who do you see starting?
I mean, there was talk Drake May wouldn't, but
No, Drake May might not start. It could be
Drake
Jacoby
May
Brissett,
will.
but that's down the line.
I kind of gave you my answer at poll that he may not start right away, but I give him halfway to the season. He probably will definitely be a starter, if not sooner.
I don't know. I don't know who's
Um,
taking his minutes away. I'm gonna be honest. If you got a second round pick receiver that you like, and he was high second round, he would pick
Yeah, he
four,
was
pick
almost
three.
a first rounder.
I
yeah.
think he's probably starting.
Yeah, and that
Defensive
Patriots
back, I
receiving
don't know
room?
that much. What?
Said in that Patriots receiving room, he'd probably start.
He's probably starting.
Mhm.
I like
said,
KJ Osborne.
as of right now, he's fifth on depth chart, but I don't think that will last. I think he'll go up. So yeah,
Well, I
I
like
see him
Kendrick Bourne
starting.
because he's a Niner.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like these guys are good, but like I don't think they're taking this. I think Polk is probably a receiver one to start the year.
Yeah. The line, they both have chance of starting just because how messed up the Patriots line is.
You say messed
and
up, but they're just younger
I
guys.
shouldn't say I shouldn't say messed up. I should say unsure, because there's so many young guys desperate to prove themselves.
You got
But,
Michael Wenwu. You know that's at least one guaranteed
yeah, I was
starter.
gonna say our oldest are David Andrews, and I think there's a guy named Dalvinport, but I think he's older. But as far as I know, Michael Wenwu and David Andrews are the veterans. Which those are two. They will definitely start. No one's taken. Sorry, I should have said that because David Andrews isn't technically starting.
I wouldn't go based off of that depth chart. I would just go based. I would just,
wouldn't, but-
whatever you think's gonna happen. You're the Pats fan.
I would say David Andrews definitely starts. I don't know what that report was on, but the quarter, I don't know. I don't know much about him other than he has decent speed.
Well,
That's about it.
probably not
That's
because
all
you guys are fine at corner. You got Christian Gonzalez, and
Gonzalez.
Jonathan Jones. I think you guys are fine.
Jonathan Jones, thank you.
I would think you guys
And
are fine
then-
at corner. I don't think you guys. Yeah, I don't see anybody starting probably, but the first two draft picks and maybe a lineman.
I was gonna say Joe Milton, not a chance with Drake May.
Well, no,
And,
you've heard that report that I said Drake May might sit out a year. He might have to sit a year, get redshirted behind Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I don't know. Drake May starts. I've heard reports that he won't start. Some reports that he won't.
It'll be based off training camp. You'll let training camp go, see what they like, how their offense is catered.
So Joe Milton, not a chance with those two. And then the last guy that I talked about that sounds impressive, but I don't know. Something I left out is
he's just starting fullback. He's absolutely starting fullback.
I was going to say the only place I see him is at fullback starting because I don't know how good of a run blocker he is. That's something I did.
He's just starting fullback, bro. Best believe he's playing fullback.
If he's a starter, he's just a fullback.
All right,
anyway,
so
that's all I have.
Let's be honest here, okay? Do you think that the Patriots, who traditionally have not done it, you think they're just going to line up an I formation with a fullback and run the ball? I don't see that happening.
The last fullback I can that they used pretty often is James Devlin.
Oh, okay. No, Elmo. Do you remember when we went to the Raiders game? You know what fullback we saw that was a former Patriot that was massive? Jakob Johnson. Jakob Johnson.
Yes, Jakob did play.
Jakob played a lot of fullback. They ran a lot of fullback with Jakob Johnson. They do run fullback. They're not recent.
James
Maybe they're not the
Devlin.
last year.
I don't think
James Devlin is the best fullback of recent, I guess.
I think the guy's was drafted to play a sort of hybrid role. I don't see
that's
what he did.
Many teams, maybe in a goal line. I don't see many teams, running with a fullback. I mean, there's 2 fullbacks, maybe 3 in the league that are true fullbacks. So, if he's some sort of hybrid, I would venture to say that you should expect him to play that sort of role.
Now, do you consider Juszczyk a true fullback or a hybrid?
I think he's evolved into a hybrid guy. I mean, if you watched him in even the last playoff game that they were in, I mean, actually, or maybe the Super Bowl.
Well, if we're being honest, then that means Patrick Ricard is a hybrid because he catches the ball too.
Yeah, he catches the ball, he run blocks, and he plays defense. So yeah, I would say that. But that particular guy, I mean, he has skill set that will allow him to actually be, receive in a lot of different situations. So
the majority of his play though is just I form blocking. So I mean, he does have a flashy play now and then, but I mean, majority like more than 7/8 of his playing time is just I form blocking.
Right, and the 49ers is likely to be one of the most multi-dimensional offenses in the league. There's not a lot of, I don't see that with the Niners. I mean, the Patriots. Who's their offensive coordinator? Vince.
McDaniels was the last one I cared to.
McDaniels.
Chandler Jones.
Are we serious right now?
That was like 4 years ago.
It was.
Okay, so who is the current?
Wasn't it Bill O'Brien last year? Hold on.
Bill O'Brien last year.
That sounds correct, yes.
So if he's still with the team, I can see them doing
Alex Van Pelt is their new OC.
And Van Pelt was with, I think he was with the Chargers. Was he not with the Chargers last season?
No, that was Kellen Moore, wasn't it?
Yes, it was Kellen Moore. You're right. Okay, the name Van Pelt sticks out to me. I just can't put a team with. He was
the OC for the 2020 Browns. He was the quarterback's coach. Yeah, he's only had one OC job, but it was with the 2020 Browns. He didn't coach any year after that. So his last coaching job was that gig with the 2020 Browns.
Okay, and with a young quarterback, I mean, I can see if you're gonna roll out a brand new quarterback or if you're going to run with Jacoby Brissett, I don't see a fullback getting much use in a true fullback capacity. However, I do think that he can get some significant playing time. I just don't see him lining up, in a true fullback role.
They ran the ball. They ran the ball 500 times.
I was going to say, I think they ran it a lot last year with Stevenson.
They did.
And I think
they did with Bill O'Brien. Bill
But
O'Brien
if
used
you
to be what
start
the head.
JK, I think if you start a quarterback that young, you're not just going to throw like CJ Stroud. You want to change it up and yeah, call a decent amount of runs
I
though
think
too. So he's done
I also think they'll be run focused this year. I do think it'll be.
because
I
they
think it'll
still
because they also picked up Antonio Gibson in free agency. I feel like
have Gibson, and I think they still have Stevenson,
they have
right?
Yeah,
And
Hasty.
Stevenson's
They
a
have
big.
Jermichael Hasty.
but Gibson's not a guy that he lines up behind the quarterback and pounds the ball. He's a receiving back.
No, that
You know,
Stevens is though.
no. You're thinking Gibson. Gibson is the receiving back. Ramondre is definitely a ground and
right.
pound guy.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Gibson.
Stevens is definitely a power back. I see they can definitely use a fullback blocking for him just straight up the middle.
Well, I mean, you know what? During the season, we'll come back to this conversation. I mean, if you think that that's going to be the case, I expect them to play 20%, 30% of the time.
If he makes the team.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lot of time to commit to a fullback where you can use a tight end or a slot in that position. But if that's where you're committing your resources to, hey, go
Like
for it.
like I said, it seems like he could do just about a little bit of everything. Was he great at anything other than rack? No. He, like I said, played slot 40% of the time. He started as a fullback. He's played tight end, so he can do a little bit of everything.
Hey, I mean, in your notes, do you have any highlights? I mean, what you got? You got some highlights over there, bro? Roll
Just
it.
He
two.
was he was he was
Base-
watch he was watching film.
Roll
His
the
highlights
clip.
his highlights are in here.
Roll the clip. I think we should move along here.
I want Elmo to go next because I'm actually very curious. We didn't get his reaction on draft night because I think his phone died or he just wasn't feeling it or whatever. Elmo, what was your reaction to Ricky Pearsall?
So,
Obviously happy.
I do like Ricky Pearsall. I like Ricky Pearsall a lot. I do feel like the Niners did reach in the first round with him. I feel like we could have got like a better guy like Cooper DeJean with that round one pick. But then again, like I felt like we could have gotten Cooper DeJean and then maybe traded up because I feel like the Niners do really like Ricky Pearsall and I feel like he's a good fit. I do feel like we reached for him the first round, but I do like Ricky Pearsall.
What is he good at? I haven't done any research on him.
So Ricky Pearsall, like I dove in a little bit on him, and he's got great hands.
Because I didn't think he
He's
should
a
be a
good
first round
route
pick.
runner. He's a good receiver. He's like 6'1". He's a quick guy, good hands. He's not afraid to block, which is
That's why he got drafted.
in the team.
That's why he got drafted.
In the scenes of the 49ers scheme. And yeah, I mean, I watched his tape and stuff like that, and he seems like a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he fits a scheme of the Niners.
And what do you think this pick means for Ayuk?
Or Debo. Because it could be either or. It doesn't have to just mainly mean Ayuk.
As far as I know, they're staying for at least this season. I maybe one of them gets traded next year, but I think it.
Who would you want to see traded?
It's kind of hard to say now.
I know obviously neither would be the answer, but like if you had to pick, if you had to choose, like not necessarily, it's hard to say choose, but if you had to pick one that you'd be okay with getting traded more so than the other, is there one you prefer?
I feel like if we had to keep one receiver, like a true receiver, I feel like we would keep Ayuk.
Mm-hmm. I've been hearing that same thing from a lot of other Niners fans. Yeah.
I mean, I like Debo a lot, but I think Ayuk he's the better receiver. Debo is more of a he's a gadget guy, and I feel like his role can kind of be filled with just like I mean, you can't really fill Debo's role because he does it so well, but you get a guy that's shifty back there.
You put a running back
good,
back there.
run after catch and stuff. Like you can kind of feel his shoes.
Yeah, Debo misses time in comparison to Ayuk, so I think that if I had to make a choice, I'm keeping Ayuk.
Yeah,
I agree.
That seems to be the massive agreement amongst fans.
And I think that he's earned the extension. Let's be honest. And
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel is, he's a 400 receiving guy a year, maybe a 400 rushing guy per year, maybe 5 touchdowns.
No, he had did he have 1,000 this year?
Maybe combined.
No, he had 1,000. He had over 1,000 combined, but he had
I got you.
I want to say, close to 1,000 receiving.
Do you guys still have Juwan Jennings?
Yeah,
So does Ricky Pearsall? Where does he fit in the offense?
I feel like Juwan Jennings is a rotational guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Ricky Pearsall will be out there more as like a true slot.
Mm.
Or a true like number 2 Debo being slot, or I feel like they still rotate. They still rotate Juwan Jennings in. They still rotate the guy we got in the other rookie we got.
You guys drafted another receiver?
The Niners are really good about just swip swapping everybody around throughout the game, and so I'm not worried about like playing time or anything between like our other receivers.
Right.
I feel like they'll all get their fair share of snaps and stuff.
To answer the previous question, Debo caught 60 balls for 892 yards and scored 7 receiving touchdowns. Rushing wise, he ran the ball 225 times. No, sorry, that's not right. Ran the ball 37 times and had 225 yards and 5 touchdowns. So 12 total touchdowns last season, and over 1,000 yards combined. But he had 890. I already forgot 800 something receiving. So yeah, Debo's a part of that offense. I agree. I think that Debo, and it's weird because it almost feels like Debo is the Niners' identity. When you think Niners, it kind of feels like you think of physicality, Debo, George Kittle running downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aggressive running.
Yeah.
But I think that would be who you'd want to part with. If you had to choose between one of the receivers, it's probably Debo. Were there any other rookies that you're excited about?
I feel like we got 2 good interior offensive linemen, or decent offensive linemen. Good, versatile, like they're fast, able to pull, do a lot of the stunts that the Niners do.
Mm-hmm. No tackle.
I like the line. No, we basically got 2 guards, but they're like the guys have all played tackle. Like the 2 guys have both like played tackle
so they
in their career.
Okay.
So it's like they could probably like adjust to that,
right?
If we had to, but we drafted a linebacker in the 7th round. I'm kind of intrigued to see like how he progresses, because the Niners are really good at progressing late round linebackers.
Fred Warner.
I feel like being behind like guys like Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, he could definitely in like 4 years he could be like a starting linebacker. 3 or 4 years he can definitely be a starting linebacker somewhere if he progresses like the late round late round linebackers that we've already drafted before.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we got the running back we drafted in the 4th round, Isaac Guerrero. He was the fastest back of the draft. He had the fastest time. I feel like he could possibly be a good change of pace back.
Change of pace from
in the
Christian
Niners
McCaffrey?
offense. Yeah, like, obviously, like, you got to give Christian McCaffrey a break. You got to,
No, of course.
he can't take every snap. That's what we're doing with Elijah Mitchell. I feel like he definitely could rotate within like the returning aspect, like punt return, kick returns.
Definitely a special team guy with his speed. He's definitely be playing some sort of special teams.
The same goes with the wide receiver. The wide receiver we drafted in the 4th round as well, Jacob Cowing. He could definitely be rotational in the kick returning aspect, special teams. He could possibly be rotated in on offense. Like if someone's tired on the receiving, he could definitely get rotated in there.
Mm-hmm. From Arizona.
And then The safety we drafted probably won't get much playing time, I don't think. He would definitely be like, special team guy.
Malik
Kind of
Mustafa.
just, underneath the Hufunga and Gibson and Jair Brown.
I was gonna say, you think Gibson is that other safety? I was getting up there in age.
I feel like
What about Jair?
I feel like Gibson may start early in the year, and then I think Jair Brown will finally kind of take over his spot because he's getting up there in age, yeah, but he's still playing at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
I do think we drafted a solid corner with our second round pick.
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I think you guys are like finally getting a good four DBs. I think you guys actually have your DBs.
Yeah, I feel like Denominator Lore has been progressing really good. I feel like he's definitely going to be our number 2 corner. But Renardo Green could definitely be, in and out of that third corner spot.
I was gonna say, who do you think slides into the slot? Because the slot corner is a whole different beast from the boundaries.
I think Womack will be, in the slot to start.
Mm.
And then we'll have to see, training camp and stuff. Maybe Green gets a spot
Somewhere there, right?
somewhere there just to start. I mean, I don't know exactly because I'm not part of the organization. But
I should have asked Vince. I'm gonna ask both of you this real quick. Vince, if you had to give a grade, like a, you know what I'm talking about. If you had to give a grade to your Patriots based off your opinions on these players, what would you give your team grade was?
I think I'd give the Niners draft
Okay, come on,
a solid B.
Solid B.
I was going to say B+.
I give it a solid B. I mean, I feel like we reached in the first round, but I mean, I like the guys we drafted, but I wouldn't say we had like an exceptional draft.
Well, I mean,
like
if the players work out, in the long run, it won't look like a reach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the Rams drafted Aaron Donald, pick 13? Does that look like a reach now? You know what I mean? So as long as the players work out, it's,
yeah.
We'll look back at it and be like, man, that was a great pick.
Yeah, glad we picked him.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Whole slick red.
Sorry, Vince, what was your grade?
B-. Sorry, I keep saying B-, B+ and A-. I'm somewhere between.
Oh, so you loved it.
I'll go B+.
You loved it.
I didn't like it at first. I was concerned, but as I looked into it, didn't seem as bad. So I'll go B+.
I was gonna say it's hard when you have a top 3 pick to be like, man, this draft kind of sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're looking at a guy that definitely is, as of right now, the face of your franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I can understand the excitement there. I still think that Polk
Did you see
might have been a little reach. Go ahead.
Did you see how freaking bummed C.J. Stroud was when we drafted Ricky Pearsall?
Oh, he really wanted Ricky Pearsall?
No, they were doing like a podcast or whatever when the draft was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was a clip where like they announced that the 49ers drafted Ricky Pearsall and he was all bummed. He's like, "Oh man, dude!" Like he really wanted Ricky Pearsall to the Texans.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was.
Did Ricky? Yeah, Ricky didn't go to Ohio State, did he?
No, he went to Florida.
Oh, okay. So they must be homies or something.
To go with what you said, I thought at first Polk was a massive reach.
Probably because he just likes him or likes his game.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, originally I thought Polk was a massive reach, but as I looked into it, I was a little less concerned about it. Thought it was all right pick.
Okay, Big, go ahead and start. I'll be right back while you're talking about it. How was the Eagles draft for you? How'd you feel about it?
I thought the Eagles had a really good draft. I think they were able to really address some positions of need. I think they were able also to create, get some positions, where they have some depth. And most importantly, I think they were able to kind of create some competition. When you're drafting these young guys, it's good to bring these people into the league and into your organization. But if they're not pushing each other, you're not really certain whether or not you're getting the full potential out of those particular individuals. So I do like the draft. I like the fact that they, double down on corner in the first and second um, rounds. Mitchell, I was a little concerned about the pick early on, to be quite honest. Being from Toledo, very small school, competition's not necessarily great. But then I started to kind of looking and analyzing the attributes and the different, um, things that he actually brings to the table. He's a very physical individual, very fast, great makeup speed, has a really good nose for the football, great agility. These are some of the things that you need to be a great cornerback in the league. I think he does also provide the ability to play in the slot and outside of the boundaries. So I do like the pick, and I also like the fact that they turned around and came back in the second round and picked up Cooper DeJean. I don't have a lot of knowledge about Cooper DeJean, but it looks like he does also provide some really good
Great flexibility.
flexibility that the Eagles need, like the potential to be a returner, a guy who actually, if he does get an interception, has the potential to take it to the house. So these are good things that you're looking for, and these are all good high character individuals that you want in your locker room. So I do like the first two picks. Third pick, I was like, what are we doing here? I understand that you wanted to address edge. Guy, third round pick. His name is I don't want to butcher his name. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah, why are you looking at that? Since you
I
didn't
don't.
really know
I already got it up. His name is Jalax Hunt. Um, so that to me, if as Elmo mentioned, if we do have a reach pick, I think that's the guy. I know that the D coordinator, from listening to him speak about this individual, is that they sound like they're pretty high on him. So that's a kind of wait and see. And with the Eagles converting possibly to a 34 style defense, I understand that you want to have some edge guys to go along with Nolan Smith. So I'm completely okay with that. We'll see how that works out. I hope that he has the ability to play coverage. He looks like he's just a lineup and run forward kind of guy. So we'll just have to kind of just wait to see how that works out. Fourth round pick, we went with a running back. I think this is more of a depth pick. I wouldn't pick a depth pick in the fourth round, but if he's the best guy that they saw on their board, I'm okay with it. Elusive running back. He does also offer some returner skills, so you could see him at the punt returner or the kick returner position. Fifth round, we turned around because we had several fifth round picks. Wide receiver out of Texas A&M. I'm okay with the pick. Devontae Parker, I think, is probably going to be a serviceable third or fourth receiver. I don't see him contributing over the long term. So
who are your starters currently
for wide receiver?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, so you have Devonta Smith. Obviously, they just signed him to a nice size extension. Him along with AJ Brown. Again, Devontae Smith's likely going to be slotted in at that third position. And from there, honestly, I don't really know. I think
you guys have Paris Campbell too. I think.
Yeah, we have Paris Campbell. I mean, I don't have a lot of familiarity with him. I mean, it looks like he's a journeyman. Bounced around he's played with the Colts, the Giants. So I don't. My expectations for him is not very high. Moving forward, the Eagles did also address wide receiver again in the fifth round. With those those 4 fifth round picks. So, and I mean, this guy's an animal, Johnny Wilson. I mean, I don't 6'7", huge guy. I don't think he has any wiggles to him, but I think he has a great catch radius and potentially is a great, 50-50 ball winner. So
he better be.
Yeah, he better be. I mean, in Florida State, I mean, he's not playing slouches, so we'll see how that works out. And that's just about all I got as far as the Eagles draft is concerned. I do want to point out that I'm okay I really would like to see Mitchell or DeJean beat out um, Bradbury, to play on the outside. Um, but if he doesn't, I'm okay with that. I think Keely Ringo and guys like that, really, really kind of earned some playing time or at least a good look this year. So I'm okay with that. And if Slade decides that he's no longer an Eagle at the conclusion of the next season, I'm okay. I think we have guys to fill his shoes. Obviously, to be another Slay is a tall task because he was a great corner and he's played really well for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I don't want to, out the guy already, but he is getting a little long in the tooth.
I have a question for you after you give your draft grade, but
Well, if I had to, if I'm giving a draft grade, I would absolutely be, um, I would be asinine to not give him an A. I mean, I think they really, as I mentioned earlier, they address needs. Okay. I think they genuinely got better on the defensive side of the football. They drafted one of my favorite guys in the entire draft, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. He's one of my favorite guys simply because he's a local, Philadelphia area guy. His dad was a Philadelphia legend and emphasize Philadelphia Hall of Famer. So, um, you know, during my younger years, I really enjoyed watching Jeremiah Trotter play. So hopefully his son brings that same energy and leadership to the team. And I think he'll be a good complementary linebacker to play next to Devin White in this 34 defense.
okay. So my question was, which of the two corners do you like better and why?
So I don't like either one better than the other because the truth of the matter is that neither have accomplished anything at this point. You know, for name value sake, I think that, based off of what a lot of analysts like to try to say, they say Mitchell was the better talent. But again, you're talking 1 and then 1A. Mitchell's, so apparently he went to the Senior Bowl and locked a lot of guys up. So, again, I don't know. He hasn't played against any NFL level talent. I judge draft picks are going to be judged 3 years from now.
I agree.
Really, really difficult to just say, oh, this guy's better than this guy. Because, I mean, listen, hey, there's a guy on the Eagles team named Reed Blankenship. Vince, have you ever heard of him?
Safety.
Safety. Before the guy was on the team, I never heard of him. And he earned his way into the starting lineup. And I think that him playing next to CD Deuce, or whatever name he's going by these days. I think that, I'm okay with that, and we'll see how that works out.
From what you told me or what I've read, the first corner they took is more of a man guy, right? Man coverage guy. So that's interesting just because Cooper DeJean's kind of exact opposite. He plays
Cooper can play man
in zone coverage. I didn't say he couldn't, but he's more of a zone guy. He's excellent. From what I read, he did struggle a little bit in man against faster receivers. That would shake him a little bit, but yeah, he was excellent zone, good instincts, and versatile.
Well, if he's got good instincts, he's not getting shaken in man then.
So, I mean, I think that you're trying to compare an apple to an orange. They're both defensive backs, but I think that Cooper DeJean is more of he's just a DB. He's not a corner more per se than he is a safety. He's a hybrid guy. He can play both positions. And, in the Eagles scheme, traditionally, for at least over the last several years, the safeties have been asked. I mean, dating back to when gosh, I can't think of his name. Dating back a few years ago, I mean, the Eagles would ask the safety to come down and line up in a slot and play cornerback. And I think that they like guys that can play that role. They like guys that have flexibility. This has always been the hallmark, calling card of Howie Roseman, is that he likes guys that's just not a one-trick pony. So this DeJean pick, is, I believe, is solely that type of pick where he's going to play some safety. He's going to play some man. He's going to be playing, say, that joker position probably in some instances. And he's a nice sized kid. If I'm not mistaken, he's what, 6'2", really nice size, great range. These are some of the things you look for in a guy that's going to be playing those roles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would like to say that, hey, time will tell. And I think that they're just two different players. I think the other guy is a little bit of just a speedster guy. And again, he seems like he's a little too aggressive. Now, one thing I also did notice is that Mitchell is, really big into to playing the run. And I guess you're playing at a small school like Toledo, if you're not helping play the run, you're not getting on the field.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
So, he's a guy that had to learn how to tackle. And I don't know that every corner is expected to do these things these days. I know in the NFL you have to, obviously, but in college,
I've actually, so I'm talking about your two corners. I thought the Quinyon Mitchell pick was bad originally, but now knowing that they got DeJean, I feel much better about it, because you're really just asking, not Cooper, you're asking Quinyon to just be him. He doesn't have to worry about, because I think he starts. I think he starts here when I think he's going to start over Bradbury. You're drafting a corner pick, what, 22? Was that the pick?
Yep.
I think he's starting. I think he takes Bradbury's spot. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they cut Bradbury completely to save room, because you guys got the corners that you drafted. Obviously, you talked about Kaylee Ringo. Where's he going to fit in all this? So I don't see how you can keep Bradbury on the roster and have all these not rookies, but have all these young corners just on the bench. Like, you're not gonna go nowhere with them sitting on the bench. They got to play. So it wouldn't surprise me if they cut Bradbury, a veteran. I don't know if you guys save money. What his contract situation looks like. It can't be that big, I don't think. But you said this draft definitely made the team better. You said. Are you muted?
I'm muted.
Yeah, Bradbury's contract last year, because I believe he got an extension, was it was a relatively large extension. He was part of the reason why they weren't able to sign CD Deuce initially. So again, I'm kind of in agreement with you. I think that he may not be on this roster after the preseason.
That or he better learn how to play some safety, because I think that's what you might need a little bit more depth at, if anything. And obviously that's what hopefully Cooper can provide. And I think he can provide some safety depth. I think Cooper and Quinyon both start. I think there's a reason you guys traded up in the second round. I'm pretty sure you guys traded up in the second round, if I remember correctly, to pick up Cooper. Right. And there's a reason why. I think a lot of people had him going first round. Whether it's corner, whether it's safety, he can do both. I think I agree with you. You said he's the best DB, or not best DB, but you're comparing the corners, so, apples to oranges. You said you're really comparing a guy that can play safety corner, more of a hybrid DB role, and Quinyon absolutely just pure corner.
Right. So I mean, if just looking at the Eagles roster here, I mean, they have a ton of corners. I mean, they also just recently brought back Avonte Maddox. You have the twin McCollum brother. Last year, they drafted several cornerbacks. I mean, you have Zach McPherson, who's he's not a big name guy.
Oh, you did also bring up, just real quick. You bring up that you drafted a player that might play on special teams, be a returner. Cooper DeJean did that in Iowa. He did that at Iowa a lot. He was a punt returner.
Right, and that was you actually was away when I talked about that, but. So yeah, I did say, he does offer a lot of flexibility. I mean, the Eagles also have Eli Ricks.
Yeah, Eli Ricks, yeah.
Who's, and he actually played a lot last year, and he was
Sidney Brown, solid. Backup safety, another safety.
Well, Sidney Brown's not going to be ready to go more than likely. I think he blew out his Achilles, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, there's probably 8 cornerbacks on this team. And it's funny because as I'm looking at the roster, I don't see Bradbury.
he got outed as we were talking about it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even see Bradbury. Is this in alphabetical order?
Hold on.
Yeah, he's on there. There you go. He has that 4 behind his name. I mean, listen, you know how irritated I'd be if it was Wow, this guy's been in the league 9 years. Yeah, I don't foresee him being around much longer. And again, I do like him. I think he's tried his best. I just think that he's slowed down significantly. So it's not that he's a bad player and he doesn't have good instincts. He's just not physically, the talent's not there anymore. I mean, the guy got beat, if I'm not mistaken, in the what game was that? They were playing the Seattle Seahawks, and Ricky took the top off of him.
Jackson
and it's
Smith.
like, yeah, I mean, bro, it was like a 4th down play. Like, you got one job: stay deep.
You can be old and still play, but you got to be smart too.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, you know what my man Sherman would have did? Sherman would have grabbed the guy.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure would have been talking crap and then getting beat by 10 yards probably, but I get you.
Sherman would have laid. Deion Sanders would have laid hands with it. He'd have grabbed him. Look, I'm not giving up a touchdown. You got one job. Stay deep. If he's getting around you, hey, put your hands on him. Do something. Make a play. And I think instinctually, I just don't think that Bradbury's there anymore. But again, I think the Eagles are in a good position. They have some really good depth at cornerback. They also have some bait where they can potentially make some trades and improve their roster.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of offseason left. I mean, obviously, it feels weird because the draft just finished a couple days ago, but we're really still in the offseason. There's still plenty of free agents that can be signed. There's still plenty of trades that can happen. There's still guys that can get cut. Obviously, Bradbury, we're talking about him being one of them. But there's other teams. Other teams can cut players that maybe we didn't expect. Somebody gets signed. Boom, it's a big addition to anybody's team. You know what I mean? It's an exciting time. Unless you guys have anything else to say, I guess I'll hop into the Ravens draft. I'll make it quick because I don't have much. Because I don't want to talk. There's a couple guys that I don't really want to talk about because I think they're more just depth people. And I don't really see them, going anywhere as far as on our team in the future. So I don't really want to talk about them necessarily. But as far as guys, like our first round pick was Nate Wiggins. I knew after I saw Guyton go to the Cowboys that we were probably going to draft a corner. It was Wiggins. It was DeJean. It was Kool-Aid. There was a couple guys on the board. I probably would have, if I had to pick out of those 3 guys, I would have said DeJean. But we didn't really need a safety hybrid guy. We didn't need a corner that could play safety. We have a guy like Brandon Stevens, who was a running back, went to safety, played corner for us last year. We have a guy like that already, so we didn't really need that. Nate Wiggins was by far the best. I don't want to say by far. Sorry, he's a really good man coverage corner. Really good, really lengthy guy. That obviously helps in man coverage. When he's dialed in, he's dialed in. He can cover the best player on the team. The issue is he lacked focus sometimes, and he would get beat by more physical guys because obviously he only weighed 175 pounds, so very lightweight. Opposite of Quinton Mitchell, he wasn't a guy that would really play the run, which is one of his big things. He wasn't really help play the run. He's still a physical guy, but when it came to the run, he can get bodied because of how lightweight he is.
Well, Wiggins, from what I've seen, one thing he struggles with is tackling, so he's not going out there. But
he might not help, but he's going to try. He don't just give up on plays. I encourage you to look up this play against. I can't remember what college, so I can't even tell you what play to look up. There was 2 plays in college where he made against the run. Guy was going for 6. Was it Texas? It was one of the bigger schools. There was a running back busted through the middle of the field, was outrunning everybody. It was almost like a 60-yard touchdown. He's sprinting at the 1-yard line. He gets stripped from behind because Nate Wiggins comes out of nowhere with his 4.2 whatever speed. He also was second fastest 40 in the entire combine, by the way. 4.2 speed, strips the ball from behind and makes a play for the defense. Game-changing play. They don't score on that play there. So he hustles. It happened twice, by the way. He got 2 strips at the 1-yard line from hustling from behind in college. He also picked off Drake May twice in his college career, but we won't bring that up.
I was kind of bring that up because I knew you were going to.
But I like the pick a lot because I think that he is our number 2 corner now. I think he's locked into that number 2 role. He's gonna play boundary corner. I think we actually move Marlon Humphrey inside to play slot. Marlon's a physical guy. Marlon will make a tackle or 2. Marlon will play a little bit. So I actually like what Nate Wiggins has done for our team because if we draft a guy like Cooper DeJean, I don't know if we necessarily play him at boundary. I think we play him in the slot. But I think a guy like Nate Wiggins allows us to put Marlon in the slot and let him play a role that I think he played really well at a couple years ago when we saw him play. So I'm actually really excited about Nate Wiggins. He's got the speed, he's got the length. If he can bulk up a little bit and not get bullied by some of these bigger receivers. I think is a great pick. Obviously, our front office loved it because you should have seen their reaction when they drafted the dude. They didn't think he was going to be there at 30, so they were ecstatic. But going into our second round pick, we drafted a tackle. We needed a tackle, a corner, and an edge. And what did the Ravens do in the first 3 rounds? A corner, a tackle, an edge. So I think as far as that front, we kind of crushed what our needs were. I don't know if we were drafting for needs or if we were drafting for best available. Usually we draft best available and let the needs fall where they may be. But we drafted a tackle in the second round. Gave up 0 sacks in college at Washington. Not a terrible school. He was Michael Penix's blindside blocker because obviously Penix is left-handed. He's going to play right tackle for us, I would assume, to start the year. We didn't have a right tackle. At least for me personally, I couldn't lock in a right tackle before the draft. After the draft, I can lock in Roger probably at our right tackle. I don't know if he had super flexibility to play guard. He was the blindside blocker, so I would assume he was just too damn good to move into guard, I would assume. Let him be the primary tackle for us at the right side. And he's a younger guy. I know he's not super long. He's not he's not super tall like Joe Alt was. He doesn't have super long arms, but he doesn't have short arms. He's not going to get bullied in that essence. He'll punch the life out of you, though. I know that. He's got a strong punch.
Just because you were talking about reactions, did you see the reaction of Joe Alt's girlfriend?
No, what was her reaction to Joe?
It went viral, but
did it? I'll look it up.
Yeah, she just looked super shocked. People were apparently going in comments, blink twice if you're being held against the will.
Did you see Brock Bowers' dad's reaction? Bro, Brock Bowers' dad turned bright red, and there was a meme, and it was like watching your son get drafted to a place that you can never show up to again. And it was Vegas, obviously.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Have you seen that?
It's like his dad definitely not allowed in Vegas anymore.
Yeah, bro, it was hilarious because he was bright red like a tomato. It was hilarious. No, but yeah, there was some pretty good draft reactions. We drafted a decent.
Joe Alt
go ahead.
Pretty pleased, and his girlfriend looked like she was a hostage.
He got drafted to the Chargers, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's L.A. Why won't you want to go? I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to go to LA, but I mean,
California.
But I mean,
was it Joe Alt who got up and didn't hug anybody and it was just put his hands in the pocket like he just meant business? I seen a couple memes like that. Was it Joe Alt?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I don't remember that draft reaction at all.
Drafted and it's like his mom, his parents, his girlfriend didn't even hug him. He just got up and put his hands in his pocket.
Dang, I don't know.
It's this guy means business. Dude. He's all business.
His dad, whether you, I don't know if you'll care or not. Apparently, I looked it up. His dad did play 13 years in the NFL and was a first-round pick. He played 13 years for the Chiefs.
What's his dad's name?
Yeah,
John
Alt.
John Alt.
I figured his last name was Alt, but
like his son, he was also.
Unless he took his mom's name, that happens, I guess.
Caleb Williams wearing number 18.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, number 18. It's weird. It's a little weird. He's Kirk. You see Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins also wearing number 18.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins. I'm still not over it. You see that in Madden, I'm just like, eh.
Well, I knew Kirk Cousins was wearing number 18.
Only because the NFL forced them.
I seen a thing where fucking Michael Penix was wearing number 8. I think it was a joke, but
definitely a joke.
It's like Michael Penix was wearing number 8, and I was like, that'd be funny, dude.
Well, by the time Kirk Cousins' contract is up, he's gonna have 8 available to him, because I'm sure Kyle Pitts will probably be gone.
Yeah,
we'll get into Michael Penix though. I think that's one of the players we want to talk about.
When Michael Penix finally starts and when he's 32.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll finish up the draft real quick. So we drafted Adisa Isaac, outside linebacker, Penn State. Actually had the most production in Penn State. So Chop Robinson, you think of, from Penn State. He's the bigger name. He was the first round talent out of Penn State. But Adisa Isaac actually had more tackles for loss and sacks. Was he benefiting? Maybe it could be because he was benefiting. He was actually Odafe Oweh's teammate a few years back. So we got 2 teammates together. That's kind of cool to see. I don't really know much about him. I don't know what kind of rusher he is. And unlike Vince, I'm not writing a whole paragraph on a dude, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll wait till the training camp. We'll see how it goes. I'll get once I get to the preseason and I watch him play a little bit, I'll let you know what kind of player Adisa Isaac is, and I'll let you know if he's able to start. I'm gonna assume it's a rotational type thing. I'm assuming he's gonna probably rotate. I don't see him being a starting edge guy for us right away. I'm just gonna assume he's a rotational guy, and you want rotational guys. You look at the Eagles; they thrived off that kind of stuff, rotating the pass rush, making sure it was they were all good to go. And now we got two guys around fourth that I actually love. So I'll skip them real quick just to kind of go over everybody else because I don't think they're big crazy needs or anything. We got the running back in the fifth. I don't really see him playing too much. Obviously, King Henry gets a lot of touches, but then we also got Keaton Mitchell who played very well. Obviously, if his injury he healed up pretty well, then I don't see Rasheen Ali probably playing much. He'd probably be a special teamer if anything, but he was an explosive play type guy. He made a lot of plays. He went to Marshall, so not a big name school. Not a small town school, but not a big name school by any means. Just a quarterback in the sixth. I don't see him playing this year. Probably practice squad guy. Maybe.
You don't think he starts over Lamar Jackson?
No. Maybe in the 50s. Anyways, he could be a backup type guy in a year or two. I think that Josh Johnson's our current backup. I know Elmo doesn't want to hear the name Josh Johnson. I probably don't see Josh Johnson being our backup quarterback next year. We do have Malik Cunningham, but apparently we're trying to try him out at receiver, so I don't know what's going on. I could see Devin Leary probably being our backup QB. We drafted a center. Just a it's good to have backup linemen, maybe a starter in a couple of years. It's good to draft these kind of guys late. And then we drafted a safety, Sanusi Kane. Don't know anything about Sanusi Kane. We needed safety depth after because we lost Geno Stone, so I'm okay with the pick. But it's a 7th round pick. I don't know if we'll see him. We probably won't see him for at least a year or two. I don't know anything about him. But the two that I loved in the 4th round, Devontae Walker or Tez. You talk about a jump ball guy, Vince. Devontae Walker's a jump ball speedster, big time frame, 6'3", 6'4". Combine. I can't go off combine height because it's always weird. But we're talking about 6'3", 6'4" receiver. Can run a high 4.3. Can get down the field. He's really a deep threat. But with that kind of physicality and his height and all that, he can absolutely be a jump ball type guy. He had issues with drops, which is one of the big reasons why he was still available in the fourth round. See, at the Senior Bowl, he dropped a lot of passes, like bad. He was real bad at the Senior Bowl. One of the huge reasons why he dropped to the 4th. Hopefully, he doesn't drop a lot of passes in the NFL. Hopefully, we can get that shirt up. But he's got the build to be a big-time deep threat guy. Big-time deep threat. Good height, good speed, he's got longer arms, good vertical. There's a lot to like about him. The issue is the drops. I'm not sure how good of a run blocker he might be. But as far as a player goes, I can see him starting this year. 4th round pick starting. We have Rashad Bateman. We have Zay Flowers. I can see him fitting in that role above Nelson Aguilar. And then TJ Tampa, a corner, another guy that fell to us. I feel really good about it. It's more of a depth pick for now, but maybe in a few years we could see him taking the role of Marlon Humphrey if Marlon's contract's.
So the big guy is he's Dorial Green Beckham.
Dorial Green Beckham? Sure. Dorial Green Beckham. Give it to him.
Man, Dorial Green Beckham had all the tools, man.
He had all the tools. He did.
Super fast.
If I had to give a comparison to Tez Walker though, it's MVS. He's MVS. Which you think MVS? That's
MVS can't catch.
He's MVS. He's MVS exactly. He's got the height. He's got the speed. He's got the tools. He'll drop a pass or two.
Maybe not as tall, but he drops passes.
But he'll get down. He'll get down the field. He's gonna be the deep threat guy. He's gonna take the top off the defense and at least make the defense respect him. And it's good to have a guy like that on your offense.
Just real quick, where'd you get Malik Cunningham from?
Free agency because you guys cut him. So it wasn't for the Patriots. You guys clearly didn't want him. The Ravens said, "Thank you."
Yeah, drafted a guy this year that is kind of like that. I think even faster, obviously better on. But anyway, keep going. I had my turn.
No, that's everything. I mean, I didn't want to go too long about the draft because a lot of these guys, I feel like I don't know if they play this year or even next year. It's a lot of depth pieces. There are some pieces I like. Like I said, Tez Walker in the 4th round was a really good pickup if he can catch the football. I think Rodgers a guaranteed starter. I think Nate Wiggins is a guaranteed starter. Like, we filled holes that we needed to fill. And we did what we did. We didn't trade up. We didn't have to give up any assets to trade up. We didn't you know, and that's always a plus. When you don't have to trade up to pick a guy, we weren't rushed. We kind of picked guys that we liked. As far as I know, we didn't have any reaches. If anything, we actually had some great value in the later rounds. So I'll take it. If I had to give a draft grade, I'm gonna go A+. Not because of the names that were drafted, but because the positions that were filled and the talent that we got. I feel really good about it. I'm gonna go give it an A+. I trust our GM. I trust him. So I'm gonna go give it an A+. This could look real bad in a couple of years. This could look real bad. But
so we have a B from Elmo. We have an A from Big. We have an A+ from you, which is really good, obviously.
I'm giving it an A+.
Yes, the guy who had the highest pick gave it a B+.
From where we're drafted. From where we're drafting. It's hard. I get what Elmo was saying, because it's hard. It's hard to, you know, he feels like he pulled in the first. You know, they reached in the first round, but they also have the last pick of every round, minus some of their compository picks. So it's tough. It's tougher to find guys like that.
I just think it's funny. The guy with the highest pick is like, yeah, B+, A- at best.
So do we all feel that our team improved?
Oh, he was
They all
absolutely
offense,
improved.
Sorry, go ahead, Big.
I think that you actually have to actually try to be worse than their pass defense last year. So,
That's fair.
Dude, they could have had DJ No Knees on that team next year and improved on that pass coverage.
Vince, that's your new nickname in case you don't know. DJ No Knees.
Okay.
Do you feel like your team improved, Vince?
Offense, definitely hard to get much worse than last year. Like, load of Big. Offensively, just exact opposite side of the ball. Defense, I don't know what the defense looks like, so I don't know there. Probably will have to pick up some guys.
You guys picked up one player. You said it, didn't you? So, I mean, the overall question, though, you think yes? The overall question. We're just answering the overall question. You think yes?
Yeah, I think found some guys that can, maybe 2 that can start this season, 2 that will start next, if not this season. Yeah.
I think of course. I mean, I'm gonna say yes. I gave the draft grade an A+, but I think that I think we have one of the best defensive back cores in the entire league now. If Nate Wiggins is that guy that people are saying he is, one of the best man-to-man corners in the draft, could lock up anybody as long as he's focused. As long as he's focused in, we have, in my mind, one of the best defensive back cores in the entire league. We drafted Roger. I feel comfortable at a right tackle now. Maybe he can even slide into left tackle if Stanley gets hurt, because he's been injury prone. In my mind, he can block Lamar's blind side. I think he can do it. He's played left tackle, but obviously he played right tackle to stay on Penix's blind side. But he can play left tackle. He did that in college for his freshman year. So Roger can do that. If Stanley gets hurt, I trust in Roger to be that guy that actually comes in and does that for us. I don't know how I feel about Isaac, but an edge rusher was productive.
I don't know if I would trust my hundreds of millions of dollar contract, Lamar Jackson, a guy named Roger, but okay.
Roger Staubach. There's some good dudes named Roger. I know, there's some good dudes named Roger, bro. Aaron Rodgers.
Other quarterback.
There's some Rodgers. There's some Rodgers out there, though. Elmo, do you think your team got better?
Yeah, how many Rodgers do you know that have won fights?
There you go. So we all think our team got better, which is good.
Roger Goodell, the owner of the NFL.
Not owner. He's not. I wouldn't say he's not the owner.
A commissioner.
Yeah, I would say to own the NFL, you'd probably need $1 bajillion.
Roger Goodell, daddy of the NFL.
Daddy of the NFL. Yeah.